Cancers are interesting. While many diseases stem from sources outside your body, such as from viruses or bacteria, cancers stem from the DNA of damaged cells in your own body. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is one of the most important components of cells. These little things contain all of your genetic information, which determines what you look like and how your body functions. Differences in this coding determine everything from hair color to the likeliness of you having certain allergies. DNA is made out of two strands that form a double helix shape. The strands run in opposite directions, and each section consists of a sugar-phosphate backbone and one of 4 nitrogen bases, known as adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. Each pairs up with one other type of base on the DNA strand, adenine to thymine, and cytosine to guanine. This is important because the way information from the strand is transcribed or replicated requires the bases to be matched with their counterparts. Although when being transcribed, adenine's counterpart thymine is switched to a substance called uracil. DNA has 2 main processes, replication and transcription. During replication, the strands are separated and each is used to assemble a new strand that attaches to it. Each new piece of DNA should be identical to the original strand and is used to form a new cell. Transcription is the process cells use to transport information from the DNA to the ribosome, which is the site of protein synthesis. The DNA is unzipped and an RNA polymorph attaches and creates an mRNA strand, also known as a messenger RNA strand, assembling its bases so they pair with the DNA, using uracil instead of thymine. From there, the mRNA leaves and moves to the ribosome. Here, it starts another process, called translation. The mRNA attaches to the ribosome, and tRNAs, known as translator RNAs, read the mRNA's information and assemble amino acids accordingly. Every 3 bases on the mRNA form a codon, which either issues a command, such as start and stop, or codes for a specific amino acid. Some orders of bases end up having the same result, as the genetic code is redundant, but different codes can have different results, meaning a change to any of the bases could result in a different translation. Changes to the DNA code are known as mutations. When a base is switched with another base, that will either cause a missense mutation, which happens when the mutated base codes for a different amino acid, a silent mutation, which codes for the same acid, or a nonsense mutation, which turns into a terminator codon, meaning the tRNA will stop forming the protein before it's completed, typically making that protein non-functional. If a base is deleted or added, this causes a frameshift mutation. These are much more problematic because instead of changing one codon, it causes all the proteins to shift over, causing every codon to change. So, back to cancer. Because DNA provides the information cells need to properly function, any damage or mutation can cause the cells to function improperly. If a mutated cell ends up dying, it's replaced by healthy cells, and those mutations die with it. However, if the cell manages to reproduce, those mutations are inherited and passed down. Some mutations are harmless, but as they build up, they can become more of a problem. Cancers form when cells mutate in ways that cause them to reproduce regularly. The cells start reproducing at a faster rate than the surrounding cells and start to crowd out the healthy cells. From this point, because of the high rate of reproduction and the genetic instability increasing the chance of mutations, the cells start evolving. Cells become better at invading healthy cells, reproduce faster, and are more durable. As they continue to grow, they begin invading more of the body, harming healthy cells and taking nutrients, but they don't perform all of the functions of cells necessary for survival. Cancer can occur in any cell, anywhere in your body. Because of this, and because each cell mutates differently, there are hundreds of different types of cancer, with each case being unique. There are a couple of classifications, depending on how far it has progressed, the behavior of the cancerous tumor, the location it started, and the type of cell. Many of the substances that can increase your risk of cancer do so because they damage your DNA. Radiation can damage the sugar-phosphate backbone, or damage bases directly. Chemicals have similar effects. Some can alter the nitrogen bases, while others damage the DNA's structure. Some viruses, such as HIV, can infiltrate the nucleus and create new DNA by reversing the RNA process or by inserting their own DNA into the nucleus. DNA mutations can also occur naturally, such as from errors from the SMART enzymes, which maintain the DNA, although those mutations are rare. Along with this, you might inherit genes with traits that increase your risk of developing cancer, whether by producing chemicals that damage DNA, having higher genetic instability, or because of something else. There is no one cure for cancer, and how cancer can be treated depends on its specific characteristics. Many treatments are also used together, as each has different effects. Some common treatments are surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. Surgery works when cancers form tumors. The cancerous cells are cut out before they can spread and replaced by healthy cells. Chemotherapy targets cells that are in the process of dividing. This harms healthy cells too, but is effective against cancer because cancer cells typically reproduce at a faster rate. Radiation therapy works for the same reason it can cause cancer. The radiation kills and damages the DNA in the cancerous cells. The reason this works and doesn't just make the cancer worse is because it targets the specific area and nowhere else. This can still increase the risk that the surrounding cells do become cancerous, however. Anyways, bye. Thanks for watching.